INTRO, the nation that loves curry. The UK doesn't just eat curry. We live it. From late-night takeaway cravings to Friday evening, fake-away dinners, curry has become as British as a Sunday roast. In fact, dishes like chicken tikka masala are often jokingly called Britain's true national dish. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all supermarket curry brands deserve a place in your trolley. Some promise restaurant quality and deliver bland, watery disappointment. Others hide behind glossy packaging and bold spice claims, only to taste like mildly seasoned tomato soup. So I decided to do what many shoppers secretly want to do: buy them, taste them, rank them, expose them. This isn't about hating brands. It's about protecting your wallet and your Friday night. How this ranking works: before we begin, here's how the rankings were decided: flavor, authenticity, spice balance, texture, consistency, ingredient quality, value for money, overall satisfaction. All curries were tested with plain basmati rice. No distractions. No naan. No chutney to rescue them. Just curry versus expectation. Let's begin. Number 10, Tesco Chicken Tikka Masala. We start with one of the UK's biggest supermarket names. Expectations were high. The packaging promised rich, creamy tomato sauce with aromatic spices. Reality? The sauce was overly sweet. Not gently sweet, almost sugary. The spice level was so mild it felt cautious, as if it didn't want to offend anyone. The chicken pieces were decent in size, but slightly rubbery. The biggest issue? It lacked depth. No smoky tandoori notes. No layered spice warmth. It wasn't terrible. But it wasn't exciting either. Verdict: safe. Predictable. Forgettable. Number 9, ASDA Extra Special Chicken Korma. Extra Special sets a bold expectation. Creamy? Yes. Sweet? Extremely. Spiced? Barely. Korma is meant to be mild, but mild doesn't mean flavorless. This version felt heavy and overly thick, with coconut dominating everything. After 3 bites, it became difficult to finish. The chicken quality was acceptable, but the sauce lacked the delicate nutty complexity a proper korma should deliver. Verdict: dessert masquerading as curry. Number 8, Sainsbury's Butter Chicken. Butter chicken should be silky, rich, gently spiced. This one started promisingly. The color looked authentic. The aroma was pleasant. But then, the sauce felt thin. Slightly watery. The spice blend lacked punch. It tasted like it had been diluted for mass appeal. It wasn't bad, but it never reached indulgent. Verdict: polite, but underwhelming. Number 7, Morrison's Lamb Rogan Josh. Now we're entering slightly bolder territory. The first surprise? The lamb pieces were generous. The disappointment? Texture. Some pieces were tender. Others were chewy. The sauce had decent color, but the flavor felt flat. Rogan Josh should carry warmth and subtle chili heat. This one felt toned down. There was potential here, but inconsistency ruined it. Verdict: a mixed bag. Number 6, Aldi Specially Selected Chicken Jalfrezi. Aldi often surprises shoppers with quality at lower prices. This jalfrezi looked vibrant. Red peppers. Visible spices. Encouraging. First bite? A decent kick of heat. But something felt artificial. The sauce leaned heavily on acidity rather than balanced spice layering. It wasn't terrible at all, especially for the price. But compared to proper takeaway jalfrezi, it fell short. Verdict: good value. Limited authenticity. Midway reflection: why so many disappoint? Here's the pattern emerging: spice levels are toned down dramatically. Sweetness is increased for mass appeal. Sauces are thickened rather than slow-cooked. Supermarket curries often prioritize shelf life and broad appeal over authenticity. And that's where disappointment begins. Number 5, Waitrose. Number 1, Chicken Tikka Masala. Now we're entering the premium tier. Waitrose, number 1, range promises quality. And to be fair, this was noticeably better. The sauce had more depth. The chicken tasted less processed. Spice. Layering was more balanced. But for the higher price, expectations rise. And while this was enjoyable, it still lacked that smoky restaurant richness. Verdict: the best so far, but not exceptional. Number 4. Iceland Luxury Chicken. Balti Iceland surprised me. The sauce had genuine warmth. The spice level was respectable. Texture was thicker without being gluey. However, the chicken quality felt slightly lower grade. Still, considering the price point, this was impressive. Verdict: budget-friendly and bold. Number 3. Mark Spencer Butter Chicken. MS usually delivers. And this one came close to proper takeaway quality. The sauce was velvety. Spice balance was elegant. Sweetness controlled. The only flaw? Portion size felt smaller for the price. But flavor-wise, finally, something satisfying. Verdict: premium taste. Premium price. The final two. Before we reveal number 2 and number 1, the most disappointing of all, ask yourself, how many of these have you bought before? Did they meet expectations? Because what comes next shocked me. Number 2, Co-op Chicken Tikka Masala. This one hurt. Co-op often does decent ready meals. But this curry tasted oddly metallic. The sauce had a strange aftertaste, almost processed. The chicken texture felt spongy. For the price, it was deeply underwhelming. Verdict: a big letdown. Number 1, the most disappointing curry brand, and the crown for most disappointing goes to Tesco Value Chicken Curry. Yes, Tesco appears twice. But this value range version was in a league of its own. The sauce was thin. Spice barely detectable. Chicken pieces small and dry. It tasted rushed. Industrial. Mass-produced without care. For many shoppers on tight budgets, this might seem like a bargain. But flavor-wise? It simply doesn't deliver. Verdict: the ultimate disappointment. Final thoughts: not all supermarket curries are disasters. Some are decent. A few are genuinely enjoyable. But too many sacrifice authenticity for safety. If you truly love curry, sometimes the local takeaway wins. Every time, the blind taste test that changed everything. The blindfold experiment. Rankings are one thing. But packaging influences perception more than we realize. Premium fonts. Matte black trays. Words like authentic, slow-cooked, chef's recipe. So we did something different. Every curry was removed from its packaging. Placed in identical white bowls. Labeled only A, B, C, D. No branding. No price knowledge. Just taste. And what happened next was surprising. The premium illusion the bowl many assumed was premium, creamy texture, deep orange color, balanced spice, turned out to be Iceland. Yes. The frozen budget retailer. Meanwhile, the curry guessed to be cheap, due to thin consistency and overly sweet sauce, was actually from the premium range of Waitrose. It wasn't bad, but expectations had inflated its reputation. This proves something powerful: brand perception changes taste. Texture, the hidden disappointment. One of the biggest letdowns across multiple brands. Texture inconsistency. For example, Morrison's lamb Rogan Josh had unevenly cooked lamb, some tender, some chewy. Co-op curry sauces felt slightly gelatinous once cooled. ASDA korma became thick and pasty after microwaving. Authentic curry should feel layered and slow-simmered. Instead, many felt engineered. Thickeners replacing thyme. Sweetness replacing spice balance. The sweetness problem: a strong pattern emerged. Nearly every mainstream supermarket curry leans sweeter than takeaway versions. Why? Because sweetness appeals to wider audiences. It reduces perceived spice. It creates comfort. It masks weaker spice blends. But for curry lovers, it feels like compromise. Even Tesco standard chicken tikka masala was noticeably sweeter than expected. For some viewers, that's pleasant. For others, it's betrayal. The spice scale reality check. Let's talk about heat. Many curries labeled medium barely registered warmth. Only Aldi Jalfrezi delivered a respectable chili kick. Even then, it lacked complexity. Spice isn't just heat. It's cumin warmth, coriander brightness, garam masala depth. Heat without balance becomes sharp. Mildness without layering becomes bland. Too many brands chose safety over authenticity. Price versus expectation, the psychological trap. Here's where it gets interesting. When tasters learned the price points, reactions shifted. Wait, that one costs nearly £5. That comment was aimed at Mark Spencer. It tasted good, but expectations rose with the price. Meanwhile, when participants discovered Iceland's curry cost far less, satisfaction increased. Value changes perception. If you pay premium prices, you expect restaurant quality. And when that expectation isn't met, disappointment multiplies. The ingredient illusion. Let's look at what many shoppers miss: sugar content, cream percentages, artificial stabilizers, tomato paste concentration. Some curries contain surprisingly high sugar levels, particularly korma-style dishes. Thicker sauces often relied on starch rather than long reduction cooking. This isn't about health panic. It's about transparency versus marketing. Words like inspired by traditional recipes sound comforting. But inspiration isn't authenticity. The takeaway comparison test. To raise the stakes, we ordered a standard chicken tikka masala from a local UK takeaway, placed beside the supermarket versions. The difference? Immediate. Smokier aroma, deeper spice layering, fresher coriander notes, richer mouthfeel. Even the color looked more vibrant, less processed orange, more natural tomato red. This doesn't mean all takeaways are perfect. But it highlights how supermarket curries prioritize consistency over soul. The biggest shock of all, the most disappointing moment? When repeat buyers admitted something. I've been buying this for years. I thought this was how it's supposed to taste. That comment was about Tesco value chicken curry, ranked number 1 most disappointing. Familiarity creates acceptance. If something is your baseline reference, you rarely question it. But once compared side by side with better versions, the gap becomes obvious. Are all supermarket curries bad? No. Some are convenient. Some are decent for the price. Some are good emergency meals. But few truly replicate restaurant-level complexity. The best overall flavor-to-price balance came from Mark Spencer, Iceland, Aldi, yet even they stopped short of exceptional. Why this matters: curry is part of UK food culture. From Birmingham's Balti Triangle to London's Brick Lane, curry isn't just a meal, it's history, migration, adaptation, pride. When supermarket versions flatten flavor for mass appeal, something is lost. But there's good news. Consumer awareness changes markets. If shoppers demand better spice balance, less sugar, more authenticity, brands will adapt. They always do. Final reflection: disappointment doesn't mean disaster. It means expectation wasn't met. Supermarket curries promise convenience. But when they promise restaurant quality, scrutiny increases. And sometimes, the most famous names disappoint the most.